Hello, my name is Mrinal and today we'll be learning about Erikson's psychosocial theories of development. So Erikson was one of the prominent figures in the field of psychology because he contributed a lot to development and personality aspects. So he spoke about development in terms of how psychological and social concepts contribute to the development of an individual. So let's go to the theory one by one. So this is Erik Erikson. Coming to certain important concepts of Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, he spoke about epigenic principle. So epigenic principles is about, he said that people grow in a sequence that occurs over time and in the context of a larger community. So there are certain stages that every individual goes through, and every individual goes through the same sequence in an order. So the succession of one stage will lead to the progression of the other one. Coming to the second concept, it is conflict during each stage. So every stage has different challenges that every individual has to go through, and if there is both success and failure. If there is success, then it contributes to the individual, and if there is failure, then it is a disadvantage for that individual. Coming to the third concept, that is mastery leads to ego strengths. If there is success in a particular stage, that will strengthen the development of an individual and helps in the progression in the next stage also, and not only in the present but also to the future. Coming to the stages of Erikson's development, so you all can see on the screen that there are 8 different stages and there are different age ranges also. So the first stage is trust versus mistrust. It starts from infancy till 18 months of age. And second is autonomy versus shame and doubt, initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and ego integrity versus despair. So all the psychosocial stages goes through a sequence, and every individual has to go through it. So it starts from birth until death. So that is one of the unique concepts of this particular theory. So coming to the first stage, that is trust versus mistrust, it starts from birth and it is up to 1 year of age. So at this point of time, it is the most fundamental stage in life because the child cannot communicate verbally to the external environment. So the only source of connection between the child and the external environment is mainly the mother or the caregiver. So the child communicates to the caregiver, and the caregiver satisfies the needs of the child. For example, if the child is hungry, the child will start crying and the mother will immediately satisfy his or her hunger. And again, quality of the child's caregiver is also very, very important, because if the mother is not satisfying the child's need immediately, if there is delay in the gratification, that leads to the child having mistrust over the external environment. That is, if the mother is not feeding the child will believe that since the mother did not satisfy his or her needs, the external world will also not satisfy the needs. Because this stage at this point of time, the child is highly dependable on the adults, so the needs must be met immediately. If there is a delay in the needs being met, then that will lead to mistrust. If the need is satisfied immediately or to an extent, then trust is developed. So if there is successful development, there should be a striking balance between both the two opposite sides, that is both the positive and the negative. So every individual has to have both successes and failures in each stages, because if the child only goes through successes, they will never have an experience of the failure, and that will not help in the development of an individual. So in this particular stage, that is in trust versus mistrust, if there is success in this stage, the child will have trusting relationships with the external environment, both in the present and in the future. And if there is failure, that leads to mistrust or lack of belief in the world. Coming to the next stage, that is autonomy versus shame and doubt. So this stage starts from 2 years and lasts up to 4 years of age. So at this point of time, the child is a toddler. So they start running around exploring the external environment. So they will be in contact with many other people other than the caregivers also. So they will be in contact with their siblings or their neighbors, or they might start going to preschool. So so a lot of experiences that takes place here. So this stage is focused on children developing a greater sense of personal control. So at this point of time, since they are exploring their environment, they are having a lot of experiences, they are trying to gain control or independence of different aspects of their life. For example, it can be brushing their teeth on their own, buttoning their shirt on their own, or talking to other strangers on their own without the help of the caregiver or the parent. If at all the child is praised for talking to other individuals or exploring the environment, that leads to the child having a sense of autonomy. That is, that child will believe that he or she has an independence to do what they want, and they are supported for it. Coming to shame versus doubt, that is again parental quality is also very important, or the caregiver's quality is also very important. If the child is punished for exploring the outer environment, maybe moving from one room to another, or scribbling on the wall, or talking to a stranger, certain parents will not like this. If the child is punished, then that will lead to the child having feelings of shame or doubt. They'll start feeling ashamed of themselves, or they'll have doubts that their parents don't trust them enough, and they can't do anything on their own. So that sense of independence is lost here. Coming to the last point, that is potty training. This relates to Freud's concept of psychosexual stages of development. At this point of time, since the child is gaining mastery over all aspects of his or her life, potty training is one. That is, controlling his or her bowel movements is also very, very important. If they are not able to control, then they will have a sense of shame, that is, they cannot control their bowel movements, they defecate whenever they want, they don't have a control there. So success in this stage will lead to a feeling of independence, that they can do things on their own, or they can experience things on their own without the assistance of an adult. Failure in the stage will lead to a sense of shame or a sense of doubt, that they cannot do things independently, and for a longer period of time they have to be dependent on their adults. Coming to the third stage, that is initiative versus guilt. So this is between the ages of 3 to 5 years, and at this age the child will start going to school. It can be pre-KG or the initial primary school ages. So the child will start interacting a lot with different kinds of individuals. They are experiencing different personalities of different individuals. So it is not just the caretaker or the parent that they are interacting with. It will be with their teachers, their peers, their classmates, their van friends, neighbors, etc. So at this time the child begins to assert their power and control over the world through directing play and other social interactions. So play is one major aspect here, that is, the child will start playing different kinds of games. It can be certain imaginary games or certain games which have certain objects with it. So if the child is initiating different games or trying to participate in different activities which involve different individuals, different strangers, that time they will lead to them having a sense of initiativeness or an independence, that they can direct whatever they want in their life. They have the power over their environment. So here there is a need to begin asserting control and power over the environment. So success in this stage will lead to feeling capable and able to lead others, whereas failure in this stage will lead to feelings of guilt and self-doubt. Self-doubt can arise when, again, parental quality is also very important, or the caregivers or the individuals they are interacting with also is very important. If these adults are praising them or rewarding them for all the initiation that the child takes, then that will lead to a sense of feeling capable. If the child is punished for initiating activities or starting a game, playing with other different strangers whom the parents don't know, at that point of time the child will have a feeling of self-doubt, that the peers around them or their adults or the parents do not trust them enough. Coming to the next stage, that is industry versus inferiority, that is between the ages of 5 to 12 years of age. At this point of time, the child will again, interaction is at a peak, and the child will be participating in different sorts of activities, mainly academics, curricular, co-curricular or extracurricular activities. If the child is winning or getting the first place or second place in any kind of games, any competitions, if they are praised for it, then they will have a sense of industry, that is, they'll have a sense of accomplishment, that or the sense of feeling of accomplishment everywhere they go. If at all they are not achieving anything, or if they are failing in a task, and if the parents reprimand them or punish them, that will lead to them having a feeling of inferiority, that they are not capable of doing things on their own. So here, through social interaction, children begin to develop a sense of pride in their accomplishment and abilities, and coping with new social and academic demands are the main aspect here. So lots of academic demands will be placed on them, maybe getting the first rank in their class or getting the first rank in their college, school. And also trying to adjust their values with the societal norms. So success in this stage will lead to develop a feeling of competency and belief, whereas failure will lead to feelings of doubt in their ability to succeed. Coming to the next stage, that is identity versus role confusion. This is between the ages of 13 to 19, mainly during the period of adolescence. So at this point of time, the adolescent is trying to explore their environment, meeting different people. They are going higher in grades in terms of education. They meet different kinds of personalities, and they start exploring their independence and trying to develop a sense of self. They are searching for themselves, maybe in terms of who they are and what they are and what they are capable of doing in the future and in the present. So there is constantly changes due to new experiences also. They might be shifting from their high school to college. So different individuals, maybe the friends that they interacted in their high school may not be there in their college times also. And again, these friends may be from different places and having different kinds of values. So the individual might try to adapt to those new social norms, trying to fit into a new group, trying to fit into a new environment, building new relationships, etc. So these challenges that the individual or the adolescent goes through can either help them or hinder them in the development of identity. It can be sexual identity or self-identity. So if there is success in this stage, they can remain true to their self because they are aware of who they are and what they are capable of doing, where they fit into, where they belong to. And if there is failure in this stage, they will experience role confusion. That is, they have a confusion as to who they are and what they are meant to be, where do they fit in, which social norms do they have to follow, etc. And that will lead to a development of weak sense of self. Coming to the next stage, that is intimacy versus isolation. This is between the ages of 20 to 39. So it is between, this stage is according to Erikson is known as this period of young adulthood. So here they are exploring different kinds of personal relationship. In personal relationship, Erikson mentioned it may not be only intimate relationship, it can be any kind of genuine friendships or other personal relation. So here the sense of personal identity is very important in developing intimate relationship. So here individuals will get into different kinds of relationship based on their roles, based on their identity. In their adolescence, they will be sure of who they are mostly. And if they have a sense of self, if they understand themselves, it is easier for them to form relations or form networks or connections with other individuals. But if there is role confusion that is in the previous stage, that will lead to them having a sense of isolation because they are still confused as to where they belong, and they might start experimenting with different kinds of individuals or different relationships, but they keep failing in it. So that will develop a sense of isolation, that they are always going to be alone here. So success in this stage will lead to building relationships that are enduring and secure, whereas failure will lead to them having a tendency to have less committed relationships, more likely to suffer from emotional isolation, loneliness and depression. Coming to the next stage, that is generation versus stagnation, that is between the ages of 40 to 64 years. At this point of time, the individual is almost well adjusted to the society, is in a stable place in the society, and here people continue to build their lives through various ways, such as building their careers or bringing up or caring for a family. So they are well settled at this point of time. Here the prominent concept here is contributing to the society. If they are settled in their career and they are helping out other individuals with the career wise, or if they are helping out their own children in terms of education or settling their lives, there comes a feeling of that they are contributing to the society in one or the other way. If they are, certain times individuals can be very selfish, that is they might be thinking only about themselves and not the society. So generativity is when the individual feels like they are contributing to the society, whereas stagnation is when they are stuck there, they are not moving forward in life. That can be in relation to their selfishness also. So success in this stage will lead to a feeling that they are contributing to the society or community, whereas failure will lead to a feeling of being unproductive or uninvolving in the world. Coming to the last stage of Erikson's psychosocial theory, that is integrity versus despair. So this is between the ages of 65 till death. So it is focused on reflecting back on life. So individuals at this point of time are in their old ages, so they will be reflecting back or thinking back on their experiences that they had from birth till till the end of their life, as to what they have achieved or what they have experienced. If they are satisfied with whatever they have gone through in their life, whatever they have achieved, succeeded, or whatever they have learnt, maybe the good or bad, then that develops a feeling of integrity, that is satisfaction with their entire life. Whereas there are many individuals who feel that they have not fulfilled all their goals, they feel that they have failed in many aspects of their life, they have not experienced a lot of things. That is when they have a feeling of despair. So older adults need to look back on their life and feel a sense of fulfillment if they want to achieve integrity. So it also entails facing the end of life. Erikson says that if an individual has developed a sense of integrity, that is, if there is satisfaction all throughout life, then that individual will not fear death. But if the individual is not satisfied with the experiences that he has had in life, if he is not achieved anything in life, that time they will be having certain anxieties relating to death. They will not be ready for the end of their life. They will be still seeking out new experiences. At the same time, they already have an understanding that they won't have enough time for this. So here at this point of time, they are accepting successes and failures, aging, and also loss. So success in this stage leads to feeling satisfied and ready to face the end of their life with the sense of peace, whereas failure will lead to feeling fearful that their lives will end without accomplishing the things that they feel they should have. So just a brief summary regarding Erikson's psychosocial stages. So all these stages are from starting from birth till death. So it is in a sequential manner, and every individual has to go through go through all the stages, and each stage will have different kind of challenges, and individual has to adapt to it. So the success or failure depends on how the individual is adapting to each of the stages. So each stages or each crisis or challenges will have either a favorable outcome or an unfavorable outcome, both of which will help in the development of an individual. So yeah, it goes on from adulthood till the end of from childhood till the end of life, and it is in a sequential manner. Each stage will help out in the progression in the next stage. So success or failure in one particular stage will lead to the progress or the development in the next stage. So with that, I will end the session now. So this is a pictorial presentation of the stages of psychosocial development by Erikson. So you all can see it starts from infancy till maturity, that is till old age. So each stage has different kinds of challenges or different crises that an individual has to go through. Yeah, these are the references. Thank you.